What's going on, guys? It's GMI92, and one of my favorite parks that I've ever been to is Kings Island. So today I'm going to be ranking the coasters that I have rode at Kings Island. So I did not get to ride all the rides at the park. So I did not get to ride Diamondback and Vertigo or Banshee. One, because I didn't really want to. But I have not heard very good things about Vertigo, but I've heard about good things about the other two coasters, Diamondback and Banshee. I'm hoping I will get to ride them when I go back. Number 8 is Flight of Fear. This is my least favorite coaster at the park, other than, well, I think going to be in Vertigo once I ride it. But the reason is my first coaster that I ever went upside down on, and well, I didn't know what was going to happen. So basically, I got in the seat and launched off, and it was just I was really dizzy after it because it spirals around and you don't know where you're going. So I don't like it. It's old and it's kind of rough. I'm glad there was no over-the-shoulder restraints like there was back in the 90s. They got lap bars now. So to number 7. Number 7 is Backlot Stunt Coaster. Backlot Stunt Coaster is a premier rides launched family coaster. It used to be an Italian stunt job when Paramount Parks owned Kings Island. This was the last coaster they added in 2005. And it's a pretty good coaster, but once again, it has some good parts to it. But I mean, it's geared toward families, so it's not a thrill ride. It's like you go from like Woodstock Express to probably another ride on this list to that coaster. And also, I'm not ranking the kids ride. We're mostly focusing on family thrill rides. Next, Adventure Express. This is what I was talking about earlier. You go from Adventure Express to Backlot Stunt Coaster, but I think this one is a little better. It has more theming, and you get started. See up here, right there's the station. You get out of the station, you start off with a bang, go into tunnels. The only thing I don't like about it is that lift hill at the end. Well, it is a good theming, but at the end you just want to hit the brake one. You don't want to wait for the anticipation of a lift hill and then you go into the brakes. So, good coaster, except that last lift hill. Now, it was built in 1993, which is pretty late for these Arrow Mine Train coasters. They basically stopped at like around the 70s, and then Kings Island goes ahead and adds one in 1993. Pretty cool. Next, number 5 is Orion. A lot of people are going to be mad at me for this choice, but I just don't think it's a good, intense coaster. Kings Island, yeah, they deserved this. It's a giga. The general public loves it, but not me. It's pretty intense, but I'm just not a big fan of big, tall coasters like Orion. But when I did ride it, I thought it was fun. But I wouldn't ride it again just because, well, I don't like the big coasters a lot. Number 4 is the Beast. This thing is awesome, but also very rough. I haven't rode it since they retracked it. It's very rough. That last helix, I had a headache after I rode it. But it's so legendary, and people wrote books about this roller coaster. This is like the staple of Kings Island. This is why you come to Kings Island, is to ride the Beast. But it is rough. I've heard it's better after the retrack. I haven't rode it, but I want to ride it when I go back. So I'll give it another shake and see if it's good. Alright, number 3 is Mystic Timbers. This thing is awesome. I mean, it's not top 2 awesome, but it's a good wooden coaster. Now, it's not as good as my number 2 or my number 1, but it's a good twister and has some decent forces and airtime. That shed is kind of like good coaster, then you get to the shed and you're like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what's in there because I want the element of surprise, but disappointing, basically. But other than that, good ride. It's a top 3 in the whole park. But now to number 2. Not going to get a lot of likes for this. The Racers. This thing is awesome. When I mean it's awesome, it has floater airtime and ejector airtime. And you get to race your friends. So half your friends can go on the blue, and your other friends can go on the red. Red side isn't as good as the blue side because it's a little rough on the red side, but they retracked it. Haven't rode it since. the retracking because, well, I haven't been back. But I can't, I want, the blue side is really good. The red side, yeah, it's, I mean, I'll still ride it. But, you know, it's not as good as the blue. But, alright, for number 1, it's gonna be bad. Because I know a lot of people are like, you picked that for your number 1? Well, it's the Bat. This is my favorite ride in the whole park. It's intense, and you're swinging. It's a good thrill ride. Like other aero suspended coasters, like the Ninja and what's another one? I think just Ninja. I think they're not as intense. I mean, they're not as intense as the Bat. It's gone through 3 names. It was originally called Top Gun for Paramount Parks. Then Flight Deck when Cedar Fair took over, and then Cedar Fair renamed it to the Bat in honor of the original aero suspended coaster. But that'll be in another video talking about the defunct rides at Kings Island. But it's just very short, only lasting 33 seconds. But those 33 seconds are awesome. It's so intense, and I really hope they never take out this ride. But thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully you guys aren't too bad with my list. And stay tuned for the defunct rides of Kings Island. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.